What's going on, my people? This is Frosty Rucker on the Take Back the West podcast, only on the Believe Network. First things first, before we kick this episode off, we want to give a special shout out to our sponsor. It's betonline.ag. A lot of prop bets, a lot of football left out there. So go over there, check out the website, make some prop bets, make you some money, and pretty interesting stuff. Mike Tyson's fight's coming up. Like I said, there's a lot of football going on, bowl predictions, all that. It's all on there. So make sure you stop by there and do what you got to do. To everyone that loves rocking that Cardinal and gold during the week and even extra on Saturday, we've got a great show for you today. We've got Coach KC, a.k.a. Keary Colbert, the man, the legend that's leading our nation's best wide receiver group. I always enjoy getting a chance to chop it up with KC and talk ball because I know firsthand he's one of the greatest minds in football. So stay tuned for a great episode. This is Frosty Rucker and Take Back the West podcast, only on the Believe Network. Coach, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting here cleaning up some film and kind of getting ready for this Monday, ready for the boys to get in here at 2 o'clock, and we'll kind of clean up the last game film and kind of get moving forward on to Colorado.
All right, that's dope. So if you guys, listeners out there, don't know who I'm talking about, this is Coach Keary Colbert, national champion, second-round pick, the one leading that awesome wide receivers group right now, the most heralded group in the country, I like to say. So we got him live. We're going to catch up. We're not going to spend too much of his time. They got a big game coming up versus a 2-0 Colorado team. So let's just dive into this. Coach, 3 games down, many more to go. How are you feeling about your season? What's the theme of this season?
Really, the theme of the season is really just 1-0. At the end of the week, you want to be 1-0. We want to grow from our experiences from the previous week, but at the end of the day, we want to kind of prepare and kind of just be all in to the week at hand, the team right in front of us, and not get too far ahead, and also not look behind us for things that may have happened or didn't happen. So at the end of the week, we want to go 1-0, and we have another opportunity to do that this week, and I think the guys have kind of bought into that and have been dialed in that way.
Yeah, man, it's been good looking back at the product. Obviously, knowing you've been a player before, you know how to eliminate the distractions and the noise that's around, and people always got something to say about what's going on. And I keep going back. It's like this team's 3-0 now, and the objective here is to win the game and stack the wins. So, obviously I'm pleased. A couple group chats we're all in. We're pleased with the effort. What improvements on offense do you see going forward that you guys got to make sure you guys hound in?
Our goal is always to score touchdowns. Each time we get the ball, we've had some opportunities throughout the season where, especially in the red zone, where we didn't come out with touchdowns. There's some times where we came out with field goals or things of that nature. So, our goal really is just to score every time we get it and find a way, continue to be good on third down and basically just win the situational side of football. The third down situations, the red zone situations, right, and stuff of that nature. So that's kind of the focus, and I think we're always looking to kind of improve and just kind of stay have some growth in those areas.
Absolutely. Looking at it, it seems like you guys have a balanced attack. A lot of people, the outside press looking in call it the air raid offense, but it looks like all the running backs are getting off. They're getting their yards. They're getting their touchdowns when it matters. Your groups, they're eating. Tight ends are eating. How do you view that being an air raid offense, but it seems a lot more balanced?
Well, I think Coach Harrell says it the best. Everybody kind of labels us as air raid, and Graham always says that the air raid is more of a philosophy, not necessarily like a system, because they're all different. All the teams that use the quote unquote air raid, they all look different. I think it's the philosophy of having your core plays and your core values and kind of sticking to that script of offense and playing really, really fast, really, really well, and kind of executing at a high level. That is at the premium of the air raid. It's all about execution. And, like you said, our goal is to always be balanced.
Right.
And, we like to throw it, but we also want to run it because, one complements the other, So, Coach does a great job of dialing it up. And, we just like to do our job and whatever that is, that's as a entire unit, you know what I mean? So we just want to make whatever play that is called, make it work.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Let's talk about your group itself. Obviously, your guys have been key contributors in this offense, playing at a very high level. And Casey, me sitting back watching these games, your guys are catching the ball with their hands. Obviously, people don't understand what that means. It's something that was a trait that you had. Everything was up here. You caught everything. Wasn't always with the body, even though that's a catch, but they're doing such a great job of being strong and physical and being aggressive, run after catch and making moves. Is that some of the stuff you preach, or are these guys just gifted this way?
I think a lot of them are talented that way. That's the hard part is recruiting those guys, to those type of players. But, once you get them here, you kind of, you let their ability kind of take over. But at the same time, as a coach, I've been around a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches, and a lot of great coaches on this staff and in this building as well. We do emphasize certain things. And even when guys are really, really good at them or really natural, you still want to emphasize it, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times, the great players, they don't get bored with doing things consistently, you know what I'm saying? So they do it over and over and over and over again, and they do it every single time. So, it for me has become a challenge to those guys to continue to be consistent in the room and do all the little things great.
Is there any drills and stuff that you do that you had when you were in your playing career?
There's a couple, but I think for me, I've kind of transitioned to being a little more efficient within drill work. And just because of the time and the amount of time that we have with them for drills, you got to really be efficient whatever you do. So there are some things that I do, some carryover, but there's some things that I've kind of grown to do. There's some things that, some of the guys on the staff have kind of introduced me to and that I like. And so we just kind of roll, man. And we kind of mix things up. And at the end of the day, as a coach, you got to just kind of find a way to give the players what they need fundamentally. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, fundamentals will help you in any situation. Today, you always want to be able to draw back to your fundamentals. So, yes, there's some carryover to some things I've done, but then there's some things that I've learned along the way.
Got it. Well, Coach, the first 2 games of your season, you guys have come down to finishing games. It's been on you guys to finish these games, make the big catch, move the ball down the field. What have you stressed about the word finish to these guys?
Yeah, I mean, just that in itself, whatever it takes, whether it's, coming down on a 2-minute drive to win the game or whether it's, finishing a 4-minute drive, to win the game. At the end of the day, whatever it takes, we gotta control the ball, move the ball. We got to put it in the end zone, or whether we got to keep it away from our opponent. That is the goal. That is the mindset. And never too high, never too low. In any situation. So, whether you're up or whether you're down. You know what I mean? So, really just trying to keep the guys, neutral and just help them focus on the play at hand and take it one play at a time. And then, they've done a great job with that. Like you said, we've had some situations throughout the season where, we were behind and, they just kept playing and found ways to win. So, I think that says a lot about them and their ability to kind of just focus at the task at hand.
Coach, could you give us an adjective on how to describe your wide receiver group?
Man, I would say competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Competitive. I mean, it's a competitive room, one to be in. There's a lot of great players in the room. So they compete every single day when they're in practice. They compete obviously against RDBs every day, and they do a great job of doing one-on-ones and stuff like that. But also, like, when they get into a game situation, they are all driven to be the best group or one of the best groups on the field. You know what I'm saying? And to dominate, their opponent. So they are all very competitive, all very driven. I love the way that they go out there and play. They play hard. They play for another, whether it's blocking for another receiver that might be catching the ball, whether it's running a guy off or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, they have a drive to be the best group on the field and do whatever it takes to help the team win.
Yeah, it just seems like there's not really an ego in your group, and everyone's selfless, because if you go stat by stat with each guy, the ball's getting spread everywhere. And every time someone makes a play, you see a guy running over there, picking them up, cheering for the next guy. And I tell you, it's a breath of fresh air. Not saying it hasn't happened in the past, but to see how locked in your guys go, or locked in your guys get going into a game. Obviously you've been around a lot of football. I have too. I've seen a lot of way guys play, but the selfless acts and, driven to be the best, each and every one of them, because each and every one of them, Coach, can go for 300 if the ball was just going to them.
No doubt. Exactly. You're right. And I think Coach Harrell talks about it every single day, and we lead off our offensive team meetings with selfless, tough, and disciplined. And, you have to be those things, in our opinion, to be a great offense. And those are the things that we stress. And I think, there has to be a trust factor too in our guys, that they have to trust the process and understand that their time will come, that they have to just continue to work and play. And, like you said, I always tell them all the time, like, the ball is going to find you. You know what I mean? So, we've had instances, and this is over the years, like, guys may only have like one catch, in the first half, and finish the game with like 9 catches or, something like that. So, there just has to be a trust factor within the room, and just understanding that everything will work out for the greater good of the team. And, I think our guys are bought into that.
Yeah, well, Coach, they look great. We as fans, alumni, are very proud of your group. We're proud of your leadership. And obviously we see a lot of the things that you did playing in them. And I say it like that just because the way they're just so aggressive, like I said earlier, and they're aggressive with their yak yards, and they're literally getting every inch of grass out there. So keep those guys going. Our Trojans are 3-0. We're proud of you, Coach. And until next time.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it. And man, I appreciate everything that you're doing with the podcast, and, the people that you're bringing on, and all the positive things that you guys are doing for the program, man. We appreciate you guys as well. And we continue to, want to go 1-0 at the end of the week, man, and give you some good things to talk about.
Always, man. Well, we're always on your side. So I'll holler at you, Coach. Thank you.
All right, bro. Fight on.